we live? Let's say we're live.
Yes, sir.
All right. So, welcome in, everybody. This is the very first episode of Mike and Rex, or Rex and Mike, however we're doing this. These will be every Sunday night. We will be coming in talking about this week's matchups and stuff like that. Um, we are going to start out this year with a rankings and draft recap, talking about every one of the teams. And first off, I do want to say I am very sorry for what took place last night. Um, big debauchery on my part. I swore after we did um, the reveal earlier in the week, I went in and I had it still pulled up on my computer. I still had all of the Yahoo stuff pulled up. I just did not click save. Did not click save on it, and then I was 30 minutes away from a computer to make any changes. So I do apologize. Big whoopsie on my part. Some guys were very happy about it. Some guys were very upset about it. It is a mistake, and I hope we can move on and move forward from here. I am clown this week, and I have Mike along with me. So let's go. Let's go ahead and dive in.
Yeah, real quick, Rex. You did cuck me out of a draft spot. So if
I'm
I
sorry.
don't win, that it's actually your fault.
Yes, that was my bad. I'm sorry. I apologize. Like I said, that was a crazy mistake. I was 2 hours away from my home computer, and then I got back today and realized that I did not click save. So big debacle. So
It's all right. Jesus forgives, but we do
right,
not.
exactly. All right, so we're gonna move into the rankings. I think we'll talk about the rankings first. We'll talk a little bit about this first week's matchup. We really don't have too many games this week. We have the opening series over in Korea, so there will be a couple things to talk about this week. But the following week is opening day. So at number 12, I have Parker Lutz at number 12. This team came in. Let me pull him up here. The Broken Bat Bombers. This team's coming in at 12 for me. Lots of youth. Got some C.J. Abrams, Jordan Walker, and Corbin Carroll as his first overall pick. I think this is a young team that is going to have a lot of. I'd say this team's going to have some pop, but I just don't think that this team is consistent enough to win week in and week out. What's your thoughts on this team, Michael?
Yeah, I had them in my preseason rankings at 9. I
Okay.
would agree with you. It's a lot of unproven talent. Jordan Walker, his second year. CJ Abrams, I think this is also his second year. Corbin Carroll, his second year. William Contreras is still pretty young. James Outman is a second year player. It's a lot of youth. And not a whole lot of power hitters per se. Corbin Carroll's not going to get a whole lot of homers. Altuve, not a whole lot of homers. CJ Abrams, probably not. I mean, it's too early to really to tell, but I would agree. I think bottom half of the rankings for Lutz is accurate to start the season.
Yeah, this team to me also, like, they have zero dogs on this team. Like, it's all guys I absolutely freaking hate. Like, I hate Altuve. I hate
Jordan
Alonso.
Walker?
I don't hate Jordan Walker, but like, there's nobody on this team that's easy to root for other than Jordan Walker.
I think Corbin Carroll's a dog. That dude plays ball.
Yeah,
but I
he's
agree.
A dog, but you have Pete Alonso and you have Jose Altuve.
I do hate Pete Alfazzo.
Yes. I guess I probably should pull that up there. There we go. First episode jitters. First episode jitters there. So we got his team pulled up, but yeah, Parker coming in at 12 for me.
Yeah.
Number 11, I have. Let me pull him up here. Ryan's Rallying Raw. What a team name. Yeah. This team's headlined by Bobby Witt. Got Fernando Tatis, Francisco Lindor, And then he has Yelich, Christian Encarnacion, and Kerry Carpenter. Ew. The first three I totally I don't dislike at all, but the last three really kind of make this team a very likely bottom end team. What's your
Yeah.
thoughts on this one?
So this is one of the few that we actually had the same ranking on. I also put Ryan at 11. Kind of the same reason. Not a lot of juiced bats in that lineup. Like you said, aside from the top three, Yelich fallen off. Encarnacion Strand had a good 50 games last year. We really haven't seen much. Kelly Carpenter's also fairly young. Royce Lewis, I don't believe he's a power hitter unless I'm thinking of a different prospect. Springer had a down year last year in Toronto. Josh Bell, I don't know if he's going to play every game.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It's top heavy. The top three are legit, and then after that, it's kind of a shit show of who's going to show up.
Yeah, I feel like he's gonna have a lot of lineup swapping every week, trying to pick who's gonna get hot for him. I think it could happen. You could see a week where JT Realmuto and George Springer and like Josh Bell kind of substitute in and have big weeks for him. I mean, but this team to me just doesn't have that upper echelon guys that it needs in order to win. But that's why we have him at 11. So, all right, at number 10 we have Andrew Torbeck. I believe his name is the Uranus Mud Biscuits.
Yeah, it's
Oh
accurate for
boy.
him.
I had this team at 10. Where did you have them at, Michael?
So I had them at 7.
Okay.
And my reasoning, Ryan's already popping off in the chat. I'm not going to repeat those words on stream. Yeah, I put him at 7. I think that Lou Bob is a big X factor. He has been hurt, it seems like, every season since coming into the league. Marcelo Zuna had a shit first half of the season last year and then had a really good second half. So inconsistent. That's kind of really what I based a lot of these guys on. Vladdy's very inconsistent. We know Arenado can go through hot and cold streaks. Marcelo Zuna, hot and cold streaks. Josh Lowe doesn't play as much as he should in Tampa. And then you got like bench Stanton is also very streaky. I mean, that dude could hit like 6 dongs in a week and then strike out the next 2 weeks in a row. So I don't know. That was just my reason.
This team is the all injury team for me. I mean, you got Luis Robert.
Lou Bob.
I mean, Nolan Arenado isn't the healthiest guy.
Stanton,
Buxton. Yeah, this team is going to be in shambles after like 3 weeks. I'm sorry. Kind of the reason this team to me doesn't appeal to me at all, because I think the majority of these guys are going to be hurt. So, yeah, that's Torbeck at 10. At number 9, this is probably our biggest disagreement, is Cole Becker's team. What do you like about this team? I had them at 9. You had them at 3.
Yes.
So big difference.
I just think they have okay. Now that I'm looking at it again, maybe it's not a top 3 team. There's some homer picks in there, like Tommy Edman. He'll be dropped after week 3. Gorman doesn't play against lefties at all, so I don't see him getting a whole lot of usage. But I think those top 4 are very good, and I think Teoscar Hernandez could have a very good season in that stacked Dodgers lineup.
Yeah.
I
That's
think
where I am too with this team. I mean, to be honest, like I think that this team definitely has the potential to be, a middle of the pack, upper echelon team. But I still just don't love the Nolan Gorman as kind of his next option. Not a big Gleyber Torres fan. There's a big question mark around this team for me. I mean,
yeah.
Does a Rosarena kind of stay where he's at? He's always kind of more of a postseason guy or later in the season. Cody Bellinger, did he have another fluke? Did he have a fluke year last year, or is he back to normal? this team could be anywhere. This is the most probably boomer bust team for me. And I don't like to bank on that necessarily. So I have him at 9. You had him at 3.
Yeah, but
Um,
probably shouldn't be
but I
that
think
high.
that's kind of speaks to what the level of his team is. I mean,
The
it
one
could be
word that
anywhere.
the one word that sums up this team is no bench. One word,
Yeah,
no bench.
yeah. I mean, I like India, but he doesn't give you much power. Um,
And that
he's
was
a
a hair
dog.
pick.
He is a dog, but yeah, he's
Cole picked him for the hair, and
definitely
that's
on Cole's team because of the hair.
yeah,
Absolutely.
that's gonna be his downfall. He has 2 homer picks and then a hair pick, and it's like, what are we doing? This is not
Yes.
amateur hour.
So I think we should move on to number 8 here. At
Yeah.
number 8, I have Clayton Wolf, and I believe that's Andrew's bum shoulder. I had him at 8. You had him at where did you have him? 10. So you're pretty low on this team as well.
Yeah, it's a lot of again youth and unprovenness.
Yeah.
Outside of the top 2 picks, it's like Gunnar Henderson. Again, a great rookie season, but the sophomore slump is a thing for a reason. So I just don't know if maybe what it is about sophomore years with players. Maybe pitchers finally have a full season to study them and stuff. But I just think Nolan Jones, the dude, I don't know, Coors effect. I don't know.
Yeah.
I wasn't
I
very
don't
high on that.
Yeah, I'm not very high on this team either. I do think this team has some great contact guys. I mean, guys that are going to get on base. And probably have a lot of hits. I mean, Nolan Jones, not really, but everybody else, I think this team, I think every single one of these guys could be in above 90 singles. I think this team will be more of like a stat stuffer team. Like they're going to win some weeks just on sheer numbers alone of just like somebody gets hot. And because I mean, you could see Julio having one of those weeks. You could see Swanson going, hitting 400 or something on a week. Like it could happen. So
Yeah,
that's why I have this team at 8. So
I'm a big Julio fan.
yeah,
He's legit, and when he goes on a tear, like I think last year in August, September, I mean the dude just absolutely raked. He could carry weeks for Wolf for sure, but
absolutely.
I think it's very weak outside of maybe his top 2 guys.
I'm not a big Albies believer either, to be honest. But
I go
you
back
know,
and forth on him.
yeah. I know he was on auto draft for a little bit last night, so um,
Yeah.
that might be why this team kind of looks the way it does. All right, number 7, I have Murph at number 7. You are a lot higher on this team as well.
Yeah, I
What do you
put
think
Murph
about
at
the Mississippi Ninja Chickens? What a
2.
name.
Um, Honestly, I think it's the homer power out of all these guys. Tucker,
Yeah.
Devers, and Adolis Garcia, 30 homer dudes.
Mhm.
Even Santander, close to that last season. Um, it's just I think it's legit. I think getting Adolis in the 3rd round was actually a steal. I think I did some more research after the draft, and I think he should have easily been a round 2 pick. So I just think he did really good on the value aspect.
Yeah. No,
Um,
I like this team. Um, I do think it doesn't have the big names that stand out to you as like guys that are great players. Like not guys you think of as like faces of the MLB, but a lot of guys that are going to fill nice roles for him. A lot of 30 homer guys. Like
yeah,
I think Garcia, Devers, and Tucker are 30 homer guys. Like when you have 3 of those guys leading off your team, like that's going to be huge for him.
it's a lot of middle of the order bats, and that's what you
Yeah,
want.
and,
And
and then and then you bring in like the contact of both Key Brian Hayes and Adley Rutschman. Like I think that those are great names to have, and he
yeah,
could put in another. I think his bench is pretty solid. I mean, he doesn't have
I
big names by any means, but they are good
yeah,
players.
that was actually my one critique. I think the
Oh, really?
bench is a little weak. Due to the fact that like Verdugo's playing in New York now. That's a new scenery. I don't know
Hmm.
how he's going to adjust there. Maybe it's fine. Maybe he's great, but you know what? Maybe he does struggle. Um, Josh Naylor, he just doesn't play every day. So I don't know if he's worth starting. That was kind of something I try to think about when I drafted guys is like, are they going to play every
Yeah,
day? Because I don't want to
yeah,
pick up a dude who's only going to play 3 out of every 7 games. Um,
that's true.
JP Crawford, I don't know. I'm not very high on him as a hitter at all.
Okay. Um, so at number 6, then I have Marsh and the Arlington Taxpayers. You were a little higher on this team than what I was.
Yes,
Can you
I put
explain why?
them. I put them top 4. I also think they maximize a lot of value picks. I think Lane Thomas was a very good pick in the 4th round. That was somebody I was actually gunning to get. I think Alec Boehm is like a great bench piece, even though he hates Philadelphia. Um, Bro Neal in the final round. I mean, we know he has power. Um,
Yeah,
I
it's
mean, if
a,
he
it's a
can stay healthy.
right.
So I thought it's
I
very
think this
stacked.
team is one of those teams too. I think that's a stat stuffer team. Like they're going to have their weeks where these guys are just going to hit, flat out hit. I think he lacks a little bit in the power department. I don't see Lane Thomas hitting nearly 30 homers that it's giving it projection for, and same with Nick Castellanos. Castellanos, like I don't see that. But he's got guys that are going to put the ball in play and probably he's going to have some big weeks. Guys are going to get hot for him. So I love the Freddie Freeman pick. To be honest,
Yeah,
I think
that's who I was originally going to take at 2. And then, somebody fucked up the
yeah. I'm
entire
sorry.
draft.
I'm sorry.
It's all right. It's fine.
So yeah, we have the Arlington Taxpayers coming in at 6.
Hot take, they don't make the playoffs though. I think their management is very poor.
We will see about that. All right, at number 5, we have Rex's Rally Birds. We disagree with this one.
I put you at 12.
Yeah, and why is that?
You have 2 guys. You have a guy who may not even make the major league roster in Wyatt
Well,
Langford.
okay. I
Same with
took
Jackson Holiday. They may
yeah,
they may keep him down. Again, a lot of like Ketel Marte, Spencer Steer, Matt McLean, unproven. Michael Harris, like there's not just a lot of homer guys. You get your top 2 guys, yes, legit, and then after that, it's like I don't know, just
you
mid.
don't think Matt Chapman and Jake Berger could have big seasons?
Not in San Francisco for Matt Chapman. Uh, Jake Berger maybe, but they lost Jorge Soler out of that lineup, so maybe they don't have to pitch to him as much now.
Yeah, I mean Matt McLean, like I don't plan on playing him every week. I'll be completely honest. That'll probably be Matt Chapman or Jake Berger or one of these. I mean, I think Langford makes the opening day roster. I'm just hanging on the Jackson Holiday. Um, yeah, I mean, I like this team. I think it is very versatile. Um, I think it has pop, but it also doesn't have like a ton of guys that. I think it's more of a contact team at the end. Like Juan Soto can get base knocks all day. Michael Harris, Spencer Steer, Ketel Marte, Jake Berger, like those guys are more contact guys. That's kind of why I think it's more of a balanced squad. And hopefully, maybe one of these young guys bursts onto the scene and has a great year. A lot
Yeah.
of question marks. I will agree, but I think the potential is there. All right, at number 4, I have you actually, Michael Holmes, and what's your name?
Holmes hitters.
Holmes Hitters. There we go. Number 4, we have the Holmes Hitters.
Yeah.
I really like this team. I think it's very balanced with power and guys that will just plug base hits from time to time. Uh, and I think you do have some question marks, but I feel pretty comfortable saying that O'Neal Cruz is like he's going to be legit. He hits some freaking mammoth bombs.
Yeah. And for reference, I placed myself 6. So don't anybody go around thinking that I just thought of myself as the top dog in this league. Um, but I agree. I think I got some units up at the top. I think Bichette actually has a better year than he had last year. Um, Seager's a dog. I think I got good value with Josh Young and Yandy Diaz, even Justin Turner. And then I even got JD Martinez. I picked him up late. I know he's not signed to a team, but the dude was an all star last year and still hit above 300 with 33 homers. So somebody's going to sign him. Like, I think his agent is Scott Boras. So that's probably the reason why he's not signed yet.
True.
But I think it's a very well laid out roster. I just still have some uncertainty with Seager and Josh Young's health because both of those, like Seager has a groin strain, those can actually linger for like a month or two. And
Yeah.
I don't know exactly what Josh's injury is, but it looked like he may not be ready for opening day either. So
Right.
the first few weeks could be rough for me.
Yeah, we'll see how it shakes out. I think I do like your team. I think it's very balanced. But we are entering the top three.
Yes.
So at number 3, we have DB's Doobies and Travis.
Yep.
You had this team at 5. I had them at 3. So we both think that this is an upper echelon team. I love the first 3 here. I think this is a very balanced team. You have some big boppers. You have Aaron Judge, Kyle Schwarber, and then you kind of have the guys that just knock the shit out of the ball around the park. You got Trey Turner, Cedric Mullins, Luis Arise, and then you have the wild card of Jazz Chisholm. Is he gonna hit 30 bombs or is he gonna hit 10? Who knows?
Not a
And
big
then
Jizz fan.
I'm not a big Jizz fan either, but Carlos Correa, Willie Adames, like he's got good guys. I seriously think that this team is a legitimate top 3 team and going to be a very tough out week to week.
Yeah, this surprised me, right? Because Travis doesn't know ball, and he doesn't watch it. So for him to execute a draft this well was very surprising. So I'm going to give him his flowers here. Um, but I still hold my point that I made early in the season. I think by like week 5 or 6, he probably forgets that this league exists and probably doesn't keep track, and he may lose games because of that.
Yeah,
Or
I hope he
weeks because of
does
that.
because
Oh yeah,
or
yeah,
I hope he pays attention because I do think this team is legit.
exactly.
All right, so now we're down to the top 2. And at number 2, we had the guy that had the number 1 overall pick in Sam's Sluggers. What do you think of this team? I know you're quite a bit lower on this team than I am.
Yeah, so I put them at 8, and this could be my mistake. The age and health kind of concern me with this team. Mike Trout is just hurt. It feels like every year now, sadly. Uh, I think Goldschmidt is not going to have as good a year as he's had the previous 2. Um, Bregman is also getting older. Acuna is fantastic, so there's no knock there. And catchers always, I don't know, they scare me just because I think that they're a little more injury prone than other positions or the guys that take more days off for rest.
Right.
Um, and I think he's got 2 catchers on his team,
Right.
so that was kind of my one knock. Also, Ellie De La Cruz, I think he's 60% hype, 40%
I
a good
agree.
player.
Yeah, yeah. But here's my thing. Like you look at his top 3, you go, damn, all 3 of those guys have won an MVP.
He has the name value for sure on this roster.
Yeah. Goldschmidt's won an MVP in the last 2 years. Acuna won it last year. And Trout, yeah, he hasn't been the same the past 3 years. But if he is healthy, I mean, he's going to hit 40 bombs and I mean, probably hit
Trout,
around 300 if he's healthy.
yeah,
He just hasn't been.
Trout in the third round was, I think, an absolute steal if this man stays healthy. Like you said, I think that's the only reason why his ADP was so low. Is that
Yeah,
because he just
yeah,
gets
he's a
hurt
top
every
5
year.
player in baseball when he's healthy. That's why I think if this team stays healthy, this is a very dangerous team.
Even Jorge Soler on the bench, I think that's probably one of the best bench pieces.
Yeah, and Wilson Contreras could very easily hit 20 to 25 bombs, and Max Muncy, he's a 30 homer guy. So
Muncy
we'll see.
sucks.
We'll see what is in store for him. But I do like Sam's team quite a bit. So to start out the season, um, Caleb's champion team. I hope he changes his name because that might be.
I've been telling him. I told him yesterday after the draft to change his team name. He started throwing a little bitch fit about it. No, I'm not going to do it now. So we'll see if he does. He needs to, or else I don't know. Maybe I'd put him in timeout for like a week or something.
There you go. So this is a team we both had at number one. This is a consensus
Yes.
number one.
Yes.
This team is dirty. This
Filthy.
team is. I feel bad whoever has to go up against him week one because they're probably going to get demolished.
Come on now, have some faith.
Do you have him week one?
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I know.
So, okay, you have Otani, who's not pitching this year, very easily who could hit 50 bombs and just absolutely dominate. He's going to be in the lineup every day as long as he's healthy. Jose Ramirez, underrated, great player in the league.
Yeah,
Manny Machado,
he rakes.
Mr. Consistency. Travis or Christian Walker, a 30 homer guy in Arizona. I feel like that's probably overlooked. Great pickup. Brian Reynolds, great player. Definitely not a homer guy by any means, but can definitely get you a lot of doubles, and he's going to have 4 for 4 games this year. And then Tristan Casas with that 6th round pick. Big wild card, could be great, but then he has kind of 2 other wild cards I do like, and that's Spencer Torkelson.
Yeah.
And then Nathaniel Lowe, who's been really good. I don't know. I mean, Polanco and Jimenez, like, to me, are like, but who knows?
He'll drop. Eloy will be cut by week 3.
Yeah,
when the White Sox have won 5 games.
Yeah, he's just not a great player by any means. But what's your what do you want to compliment Caleb on after this draft?
I think ranking him, both of us ranking him number 1, kind of says it all, right? Yeah, you've got 30 homer dudes up and down this lineup, and the absolute hitters. Like, everybody rakes on this team. I think maybe Casas is probably the only dude in the starting lineup that I maybe would switch out for Torkelson, but I mean, he should be fine. I guess we have to knock every team, right? So the only knock here is nobody's in double digits for hit by pitches. And I pray to God that I actually win week 1 because I have more hit by pitches.
Yeah.
If that pushes me over the edge, I'm gonna laugh so hard.
Yeah. There's going to be some time this year when somebody wins by a half a point, and it'll be on like Sunday Night Baseball or something, and
a half, hit by pitch.
It'll be an HBP. So, this team is definitely going to probably be in the top 2 or 3 all year. As long as all these teams can avoid injury. I mean, early on in the season, I kind of think all these teams kind of hold true.
I like putting the pressure on Caleb now too, because if he doesn't start winning, like if he doesn't get out to a hot start, and he doesn't make the playoffs or something, man, we are just going to absolutely raw dog him for it.
And so you go and look at the early projections for week 1. He's projected to beat every team.
That's a margin right there.
8 points.
Yeah.
You have Caleb at 1, myself at 2, I guess. Andrew Torbeck at 3, and then a bunch of guys kind of in that 50, 52.
53 to 51 range, I would say, is like your median.
So I guess we should talk a little bit about this week. So this week, I believe, is a 2-week first week. So
correct.
There's a couple games out in Korea, meaning that if you have Dodgers or Padres players, they're probably going to have an extra 2 games on everybody. So advantage them this week. I don't have any of those guys, which sucks. But
yeah, I think when I looked at our matchup, Caleb has like 4 more games than me.
Yeah, so
week 1. I think that's maybe what It's carrying his
that sucks.
projections a little bit.
But then it's like you're punishing a guy who it's gonna catch up to him later in the year when he has those teams. I mean, everybody plays 164, so
right.
So this week is just kind of sucks that those guys aren't in your lineup and get a couple extra games. But yeah, so first week we have Rex's rallying Redbirds versus Ryan's rallying Raw. Right now it's projected 56.4 to 52.
This is an early season tank bowl right here.
you think? Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think I have any players playing this first week, so that's fine.
This is my 11 and 12 right here.
Wow. All right. So we have then Travis's team, the DB Doobies and the Mississippi Ninja Chickens. This will be a fun one. I think this is a matchup of the week for me. I think this one is going to be a very, very fun one to watch. We'll come down to probably Sunday night, 2 weeks from now.
I think anytime you got the two least likable people in the Discord going at it, it'll probably be a good matchup.
So mean. Then we have Cole's team versus Sam's team.
This is my matchup. This is my matchup.
Okay, you like this matchup. I think Sam runs away with this one. But that's just me.
Okay.
Holmes Hitters versus Caleb Watts. I think this is number 2 matchup of the week for me.
This is David and Goliath right here.
This is where we see if Caleb early on in the season just puts it to you, and I think he will because he's got more games. That's an unfortunate thing for you.
Yeah, if he does beat me, I'm going to tear out his other quad.
Oh, boy. Uranus Mud Biscuits versus the Arlington Taxpayers will be a good matchup. I would believe Marsh probably comes out on top of this one, even though he's not projected to win.
Yeah, this might be the all-time worst managers going at it though. Like 2 guys who I don't think know any ball.
Okay.
Going at it, so we'll see. It's just gonna. This is like dumb luck teams, the Mud Biscuits and the Taxpayers. Also, two shitheads.
Right. Then finally, we have the Broken Bat Bombers and Clayton. Be an interesting matchup, I think. Probably.
Were those 2 auto draft teams?
Oh, yeah, 2 auto drafters starting out the year.
Great.
Gonna be highly entertaining. I have a feeling. So, yeah. So 2 weeks from now, I believe that's the first week. So the first week is going to week 1. Oh shoot, week 1 goes all the way to the 7th of. So we basically have a full 2 weeks. No, 3 weeks. How many days is that?
I'm going to let you struggle on this.
Yeah, 2.5 weeks. Full 2.5 weeks.
What were you doing?
Being an idiot. Yeah, so full 2.5 weeks for week 1. So that'll be fun to it'll be a long first week, and then we'll be like a week by week basis after that. So won't see you for a few weeks, but I'm sure we'll be talking in the Discord. Appreciate you, Michael, hopping on here with me. This is a first one.
Anytime.
I'm sure there will be several disagreements in the Discord on where everybody was ranked, and
Ryan's already.
We have no idea how to. Yeah, I figured he always bitches.
Bitch.
He's probably just said something. No, he didn't. Okay.
Yeah, he's just ass kissing Travis.
That's nice. So yeah, I think that's it for me. Is there anything else you want to say?
Nope. Best of luck to everyone this year. It should be fun. Please do not take these rankings to heart. It's all just fun and games at the end of the day. Appreciate everybody.
Yes. All right. We will see everybody in 2.5 weeks. See you then.
All right. See ya.